Well, good morning, everybody. I'm going to try this outside. I've tried to find a place out of the wind and as quiet as I possibly can. And as you can see, I'm at perfect day at Coco Cay today. But I do have some news stories that I wanted to bring you. We have an outbreak on a Carnival cruise ship. We have another cruise ship finally announcing when they're getting back in service after months and months of being damaged. We have a popular excursion place opening up one more time, and unfortunately, we have an accident that happened during the building of a brand new ship. So, my first story today is the Carnival Elation is getting back this morning, and she had numerous outbreaks of what they're calling a stomach virus. Now, they're not calling it norovirus, but it appears to have basically all the same symptoms. Passengers started announcing and going down to sick bay during the voyage. They instituted stringent cleaning process. In fact, so much so that the Carnival Elation, when she's in port today, will have an extra cleaning and an extra wash down and scrubbing and with all the disinfectants and everything going on today, which may delay passengers getting on board the Elation as going on. That's the second. Now, they're not saying how many people were affected and how many do, but they are saying numerous passengers on board. So when they say numerous, it's usually in the dozens up to 100 possible of people having the illness on board. We also had the brand new cruise ship Fincardi's mine ship Relax that they're building in Fincardi. Unfortunately, we had a scaffolding fall over and trapped a 25-year-old construction worker underneath. The fire and rescue team did show up, and they ended up freeing the gentleman and rushing them to hospital, where he is reported to be in very serious condition. So we just want to wish him all the best. In the cruise ship family, we tend to think of passengers and crew, but there's a lot of people that are building our ships and repairing our ships that are also in our family as well, and we want to wish him all the best and a speedy recovery as well. No indication of what happened, why the scaffolding broke loose or anything like that yet, but yeah, just want to wish them all the best. Next, we also have a popular cruise excursion. The Blue Lagoon is opening back up after that really horrific accident that actually caused the life of a passenger who ended up having a heart attack on board when the boat started to sink. It was more panic induced than anything, unfortunately, but when you're in that situation and you're in the water and you're afraid of water and the boat starts going down, it doesn't matter if you're a mile from shore or 100 feet from shore. It's a very scary thing, and unfortunately a passenger did pass away. They have done their research, they've looked into what happened, and they are now opening up the Blue Island one more time, and so people can go back and enjoy that, and hopefully they've gotten any of those issues all fixed and repaired, and we don't have to worry about it, because yeah, it was not a great scene. Hopefully it was a very, very, very isolated incident. And now, finally, I also have a report coming out of a cruise ship that was hit by that rogue wave. Remember where the MS Maud got hit by that wave and ended up, bam, she lost all power, right? They lost all their engine power, all their power into the bridge. The bridge had no control over the ship, and they were basically dead in the water, floating out there in a very precarious position in the middle of a storm. And so they ended up getting towed in. Numerous passengers reported injuries, over 100 passengers injured, and some of them ended up going into hospital, though no had long-term serious injury. It was mostly for precautionary issues, but they did end up going and getting on back in shore. Well, that ship is not going to sail. If you're wondering how much damage was done by that rogue wave entering the bridge, well, it's not sailing again till April. April of 2024. That's almost 5 months of being torn up in dry dock because of all the injuries that happened to the ship, as far as the mechanicals and the electronics and what they had to replace. And I'm quite sure they're going to be looking at replacing all the glass around the bridge and the doors as well, because that's one thing they never want to see happen again. That was one of the craziest stories of the year last year, and the good news is nobody passed away during that cruise. And so, yeah. Well, it's a bit of a mixed bag today as far as weather is here on Perfect Day at Coco Cay. I'm about to go and do a tour, and there you can see the giant water slide in the back. I am actually really, really surprised and shocked that we were able to dock here, because it is super windy today. It is also, very rough, choppy seas for this size ship to pull into a dock. And no, captain pulled her in. Seems to be no problem. So it looks like the Icon has some pretty good maneuverability, because I've been on ships where less weather than this was happening as far as the wind and everything was concerned, and they ended up having to cancel it altogether because it just was a basic impossibility to get the ship in. So condolences to the captain, and congratulations to the captain. Well, maybe condolences if we crash on the way out, but you don't want to scratch the brand new star of the fleet, shall we say. But yeah, so far so good on the ship. I have a few quirks, and I've even talked to some crew members about it, and they even admit that, yeah, you know what? By the next time the ship sails, like the next generation of the Icon, that will probably be changed. And I wouldn't be surprised within a month or 2 months of this happening, this cruise ship launching, they institute some sort of change on this ship as well. For one thing in particular, and I'll go into that more in my ship review and my ship tour. So I just didn't want to get caught far behind on the news, guys, because I thought the importance of the flu on the Elation and the gentleman being injured and the Blue Lagoon reopening are pretty big stories that we should keep on touch of. And yeah, remember when the mod said, "Oh, we're just going to close, cancel the next week, and then we might end up 1 or 2 more cruises after that. We might end up canceling." Well, they canceled 5 months of cruises, and yeah, a very unfortunate situation. Well, there you go. That's the news for today. Here I am in Perfect Day at Coco Cay, and until next time, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Perfect Day at Coco Cay and the Icon of the Sea, and the next sea sailings on the Regent 7 Seas and the Sun Princess, all coming up in the near future, and maybe even more dramatic airfare flight travel things that happen, because guess what? My next flights are even, they're 17 hours. The flight I just took was 3.5 hours. It took me 17. Imagine if I take the same amount of time. It'll take me 4 days to get there. Not looking forward to that. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.